Hello.
Then, now,
Bow down to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever,
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, my episode number, I think it's 48 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for SmackDown for Friday, the 4th of October, 2024. We are 6 days removed from the Bad Blood Premium Live event in Paris, which saw a rather disappointing main event between Xavier Woods and Drew McIntyre. We're going to hear what's next for Xavier Woods at the end of the show tonight. You know, following the end of the pay-per-view where the Hurt Business and Swerve and Drew McIntyre are all sort of involved. We're also going to not going to hear from Dakota's not here tonight because she got attacked by Charlotte following her defense. We have a new Liberty champion, which is the Megasis. She's going to be in action tonight, defending her championship for the first time. And we're also going to hear a follow-up from Pete Dunne after the shocking end to last week's episode of SmackDown where he laid waste to his former mentor, Daniel Bryan. That's going to kick off the night. We're going to hear from Pete Dunne to open the show. So yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. Pete Dunne, Dante Riott, Triumph and Gresham, Miles Bourne and Oney Lorcan come to the ring to open up the show. And, you know, he's getting surrounded out with boos, of course. And he just sort of shrugs. He's like, why are you booing? I understand why you're booing. Right. You know, I want to get one thing perfectly straight with every single one of you right here. Just like all of you in the crowd right now here. I was a huge fan of Daniel Bryan's. You know, I betrayed, you know, what people thought were my morals so I could sit under the learning tree, an actual learning tree, not like the one Chris Jericho's running, of someone that I looked up as an inspiration in this business. When I came to America, one of the guys I wanted to wrestle was Daniel Bryan. And I've seen him over the last couple of weeks, since SummerSlam when he lost our WWE Tag Team Championships. And I barely recognised the bloke. Like, you all can see it, you know, Daniel Bryan, he's harboring a lot of injuries, you know, Father Time is catching up to him. So, when he took that DDT from Carmelo Hayes last week, he was looking in rough shape. So all I did for the goodness of Daniel Bryan's career, I took him out. I didn't take down Daniel Bryan out of hatred, I did it out of love. I put Old Yeller down last week because I saw him struggling. Because God knows he's too stubborn to quit this damn industry himself. So if you want to know why I did it, that's why. I don't regret nothing. I'll do it all over again. And myself and Dante and Jonathan and Oni will carry on this Dragon's Dojo legacy without him here. That's when William Regal interrupts with the Creed brothers by his side. Because the Creeds are in that 4-way tag match, which will actually open up the show. So Regal comes out with the Creeds. He goes, my, you do... I never used to think that Pete Dunne loved the sound of his own voice like this, but here we are, all these years after meeting you, and I see what a prick you've become, Pete. You know, you and I, just like myself and Daniel Bryan, we have a lot of history. In fact, you wouldn't even be doing all the stuff you're doing here on the main roster right now in WWE if it wasn't for me, when I took you and Dudley and Gunther and Zach and James and Florence and all these people under my wing. You're now where you are because of me. Just like, I don't mean to brag, but Daniel Bryan, he wouldn't be where he was without my guidance either. Now me and him had a lot of differences in our careers. I was very critical last year of the way he was going about training you two. You know, obviously I share tough love with Julius and Brutus, but where Daniel Bryan was going with poor Miles back there and the rest of you, that was almost a step too far even for a villain like myself. But deep down in my heart of hearts, I love the boy. And to see him last week get stretchered out of here because of an attack by someone he trusted, a tag team partner who he chose and took under his wing. Not on my watch, sunshine. You may think what you're doing is moral. You may think that you're looking to put down Daniel Bryan, but do you not think a guy like that deserves the right to go out on his own terms? Now look at me. A guy like me had my career taken away from me, all my opportunities taken away from me. I would kill for one more opportunity to right that wrong. For me to go out the way that I dreamed of going out, and that was what Daniel Bryan was going to do. You know, we saw John Cena come out here a couple of months ago and announce his retirement tour. Daniel Bryan would probably do something very similar to that, but now he may not be able to, Pete, and do you know why that is? That's because of you. And Pete Dunne just sort of shrugs his shoulders and he goes, whatever, mate. It's done now. You know, Daniel Bryan, who knows if he's going to be back here because his neck's not holding up very well. All it took was one DDT to take him out. And if you're going to keep looking at me like that and mouthing off to me, I'll snap your face in as well. I mean, because I'd love to see you try. Even at my old age, I'll whip your ass 7 days to Sunday. And Pete Dunne and Ricochet have a little bit of a tense exchange here. And then, you know, Dante Riott, Jonathan Gresham, Miles Bourne, Oney Lorcan sort of pull Pete Dunne. Well, actually, no, not Miles. Miles is still, you know, in turmoil. You know, he's still just sat there, like, just staring at the floor as Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, Jonathan Gresham, and Dante Riott go to leave the ring. And then, you know, they look back and he's like, Miles, you coming? And Miles goes to, like, follow Pete. When Rico sort of, like, puts his arm out and stops him. He goes, I know you're hard of hearing, boy, but I want you to dig down deep and listen to the words I'm going to tell you right now. Everything that you went through with Bryan, he did that because he saw potential in you. He saw potential in all of you. So if you go along with Pete Dunne and the rest of these people here, you'd be betraying the man who put his neck on the line for you, quite literally, here on WWE. And Miles sort of does stop. He does take that in. So I think Miles Bourne, he can hear some stuff. He's not, like, completely deaf, just mostly. So, yeah. And, yeah. He then, you know, takes that in. He follows Pete Dunne out. And then we cut to the opening match of the night, which is the 4-way tag match, the Tag Team Division Showcase, to determine the next challengers for the the WWE Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Creeds, the Revolution, OTM, and the Labyrinth. 79. Every single team in this match has got excellent chemistry. We love to see that. And also, I'm really pleased with that ratings because, you know, you look at... Well, I was about to say the Labyrinth as a whole, but apparently just Drake Chambers, because Nathan Kelly scores an 84. And then, you know, OTM aren't that popular either. And Rufus is also a little bit down, but 79, especially because I had to keep some... I think I can't remember who it was, but somebody had to be kept strong. One of the Creeds, I think. But yeah, it is the Revolution's Nebo Barnes and Rufus Hamilton picking up the win. It says elimination. Again, as always, it's not elimination. They pin, I think, Lucian Price with... Well, Nebo Barnes pins him, basically. I don't know what Nebo's finisher is. I don't know what actual Calvin Tankman's finisher is off the top of my head either, but, like, Nebo will probably have something else. And, yeah, the henchmen, the Pete Dunne and the goons, so everybody that isn't Miles Bourne, come out and attack the Creeds during the match, take them out. And then, you know, Nebo pins one of the OTM guys to score the win. 59 for Drake Chambers, 84 for Nathan Kelly, 43 for Lucian Price and Bronco Nima, 80 for Julius Creed, 82 for Brutus, 89 for Nebo, and a 64 for Rufus. So yeah, we had a little brief interaction the other week between the Revolution and Jar KO, and they joined together to fight the Learning Tree. And Buster did say, you know, eventually they'll be getting a shot at the tag team titles, and that shot is coming soon, because not Buster and Nebo and Rufus win here tonight. Speaking of the Learning Tree, we then see Jericho. He's angry backstage because, you know, he lost at Bad Blood to Buster Gates, and he storms into the Learning Tree University room where everybody sat down, minus Thea Hale, if there's anyone not in there, and he goes, "Hi guys." Go, "Good morning, Mr. Learning Tree, Chris Jericho." He goes, "I need to talk about what went down last Saturday night in Paris. Because the learning is supposed to be a big night for the learning tree. It's supposed to be huge, monumental victories. Aussie Open was supposed to stand here tonight, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and they're not, and that's all on them. But more importantly, the learning tree himself, Chris Jericho, came up short against that loser wannabe Jericho, Buster Gates. Do you know whose fault that is? And then Shane Reynolds puts his hand up. He's like, yours, Chris. It was you one-on-one with Buster, and you came up short. And Jericho gets in his face, and he goes, somebody's gonna be staying behind later on tonight, but no, it's all of your faults. You, and you, specifically. And he's pointing to, like, all of the Chase U members, not Morgan, Zeta, Kaya, and Bodhi. So he's blaming the B team, basically. He says, you didn't come out there and help me during my match. You know, why are you under the learning tree if you don't want to come and be at ringside and watch me do my stuff in front of everybody? And Andre Chase just goes, well, last time Duke and I got involved in your stuff, we cost you the match. You told us to stay behind. So, Chris, it really is all on you. And Jericho's like, big man with a big mouth. Do you want to come up here and give the lecture yourself, Mr. Chase? And he's like, yeah, actually. And he goes to stand up. He goes, sit your ass down. And, he goes, and where's Thea? Okay, where's that little rascal that you people hang around with? And then they all sort of look around like, where is Thea? And Morgan goes, I don't care where Thea is. Okay, last week, Thea went out of line. I had to try to put her in her place, and she ended up biting me and attacking me, Chris. Okay, so we don't need her around. If she wants to run away and be elsewhere, let her do her own thing. We don't need her. We've got myself and Kaya and Zeta and those two weirdos over there. If we want to actually capture women's championship gold around here. And Jericho goes, excellent point, Morgan. That's why you are the heiress of the learning tree. And as for the rest of you, take this defeat as a minor setback, because here at Learning Tree University, we don't get chopped down. We continue to sprout. Thanks, guys. Then get a quick backstage segment. Buster meets up with Nebo and Rufus says, oh, there we go. There we have it. You know, all those months ago when I came back and I said, you guys are going to be the top of the tag team division here on SmackDown. You did it right here and right now. You, Buster. Not Buster. I keep calling him Buster. He's Nebo. Buster is Ricky Starks. Nebo and Rufus, you will be the WWE Tag Team Champions. Then Randy Orton and Ilya Dragunov do walk past. And he goes, congratulations, boys. We always knew we saw some special things in you. There's a reason why when we first defended these championships and you were the first team to step up. You know, ever since then, we've been waiting to run this back. Myself and Ilya against you two. Buster goes, Randy, thanks a lot for having our back against the learning tree. It felt so good to shut that guy's mouth once and for all, but now we're ups. And actually, why are we waiting so long? The Revolution is going to all hold gold around here soon. So how about next week? You and Ilya run it back against Rufus and Nebo. Tag team championships on the line. And Randy and Ilya sort of just look at each other, shrug, and go, we'll see you out there. So yeah, next week, WWE Tag Team Championship match. Ilya Dragunov and Randy Orton against Nebo Barnes and Rufus Hamilton. 68. Sure, I'll take that. Zelina Vega cheats to beat Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel's defeat comes because, you know, Shayna Baszler and Carmella aren't out here to have her back, because that was like a one-time alliance. But obviously the other Fatal Influence girls are out there with Zelina. Aaliyah and Fallon being nuisances. And then Zelina rolls up Raquel as she goes for the Tejana bomb. Feet on the ropes, you know, Fallon holds Zelina's feet down or whatever. Because apparently in wrestling that gives you added pressure or whatever. And yeah, Zelina does score the win. 67 for Zelina, 63 for Raquel. Raquel was not off her game tonight, so the fucking journalists can get off her back. And yeah, big win for Zelina, literally. But after the match, Raquel's angry, you know. Zelina's in her face, she's mocking Raquel on the floor. And she does stand up and she sort of grabs Zelina Vega by the hair. And Zelina, like, kicks and screams while she's in Raquel's grasp. Raquel gets up for the Tejana bomb again. And then Fallon and Aaliyah slide in, take her down from behind, you know, ground her, and then they hit a 3-person finisher, whatever that would be, on Raquel Rodriguez. And yeah, she had allies at Bad Blood, but Shayna and Carmella seemingly have them on other stuff right now. We then cut back to Adam Pearce in his office, and you know, he's holding his bald head in his hands as he's we pan across and Grayson was there. And he goes, all I'm saying, lad, is that I didn't take the pinfall loss in that match at Bad Blood. Hell, I've barely taken any pinfall losses recently around here, so I deserve to be the next number one contender for the United States Championship. Because Grayson, enough. You've had enough opportunities. You and Corbin and Neville, all of you, need to get some new blood in this United States Championship division. Well, goes, Bob, that's bullshit, lad. You know, I'm still the hottest rising star here on SmackDown. And then Baron Corbin walks in. He goes, Pierce, it's great to see you. You know, it was very great that I finally got my opportunity to be United States Championship. I came up just short, but next time I'm gonna rebuild myself and I will become United States Champion again. Pierce goes, great. I know you're familiar with the guy to your left. He sort of looks across, and it's Grayson Waller. Waller looks across at Corbin, like, all worried. And we see Corbin's face change from, like, smiling to anger. And Waller goes, whoa, easy, lad. I don't remember we were tag team partners? We were tag team partners? And then he runs away, and Corbin chases after him. So, yeah, their brief little alliance they had to do last week, try and get into the US title match at Bad Blood. That's now over. They're back to trying to kill each other. Peter Griffin and the Chicken are back at it here on SmackDown. We then hear from the third, I guess, loser of the United States Championship Fatal 4-Way match. It's Neville. It's one of those pre-recorded Neville pack, I guess IRL videos that they air, you know, every 6 months when he's around on Dynamite, where, like, he's sat in, like, a dark room in a suit or whatever, and, like, it's edited, so there's, like, a bunch of evil packs walking around in the background. Just do one of them. Neville goes, for the first time since I came back here, I'm without a championship and I'm without a purpose. But when I look around here, I see a lot of things around here that are foreign to me. But I see a lot of things around here that are all too familiar for my liking. So, Sammy, consider this little war of ours over. Congratulations. You can run with the United States Championship for a little while longer. Go and defend that against whoever is next in line to try and take that championship off your hands. But the rest of SmackDown, know this. Just because the bastard set his eyes off one thing doesn't mean I don't have a purpose. Because things still look a hell of a lot different around here. And when I'm done, I'll carve this whole place into my image and make everybody see the light. And everybody become a bastard. We then cut back to the ring. Angelo Dawkins makes his way out to the ring. The Golden Prophet, he coming out. And in the ring is his opponent, Top Dollar. I got a comment on last week's SmackDown saying, where is Top Dollar? And I was, very nonchalant because he hasn't been around for a while. But I do still have him. And I was like, oh no, maybe he's out job searching. But I always knew he was getting this spot here. So, Top Dollar's here. Bottom Dollar, he's still down on his luck. He's looking a bit... Imagine he hasn't shaved his beard. Like, his beard's a lot more scraggly. He's got his vest, but it's not ironed or tucked in. It's sort of just like that. So he's been wearing the same shit for months, basically. And Andrew Dawkins gets into the ring and he sees Top Dollar stood there ready for the match. And he cuts his throat and demands his music get cut off. He takes the microphone and he goes, "Fam, I know that ain't who I think it is over there. Bottom Dollar. This is who the Golden Prophet has to face. I've got a lot of stuff I need to get off my chest. Over on Monday Night Raw, Tez, my old tag team partner, he's getting opportunities to try and become the WWE Champion. He's failing in them because he ain't that good, but he's getting those opportunities nonetheless. But over on here, I get matches against Top Dollar. So, all those people I hear you out there saying, how can Angelo Dawkins be the Golden Prophet when he's a nobody and Tez is sniffing around becoming WWE Champion? Well, because that's the way this damn place wants it to be. This place chose Tez and his wife to be the star and left me to flounder over here wrestling bums like this. If I ain't gonna be handed those same opportunities that Tez has been handed over on Raw, I guess I'll make 'em myself. He then jumps Top Dollar, smacks him in the head with the microphone, starts assaulting him with a microphone. He rips his jacket off, goes, ring the bell. The match gets underway. In a 62, Angelo Dawkins makes short work of Bottom Dollar with a spine buster in 2 minutes and 40. 75 for Angelo Dawkins, 71 for Top Dollar. And after the match, the referee raises Angelo Dawkins' hand. He sort of like pulls his arm away. He snaps at the referee. He turns around. He continues the assault on Top Dollar. He grabs the steel steps from ringside, tosses them into the ring. And he nails Top Dollar with the steel steps. And he's down and out. And Angelo Dawkins stands on top of the steel steps, arms outstretched. I guess security tries to get him and Top Dollar separated, but at the end of the day, he's not a SmackDown wrestler, is our Top Dollar here, so I guess SmackDown's medical team aren't too fussed the way that the Raws are when it happens to Cody. but of course, that also plays into the current Top Dollar arc, where he's a bum and nobody cares about him. But yeah, Angelo Dawkins snapped here tonight. But then cut backstage. Kayla Braxton's my guest at this time, Sami Zayn. Sami walks in. Sami Zayn back at Bad Blood. You came out on top in a fatal 4-way match to retain your United States Championship. And with what we heard earlier on tonight from Adam Pearce, he seems to be wanting new blood in this United States Championship division coming up soon. So what are your thoughts heading into that? So he goes, first of all, I want to actually take this moment to, even though we've had our differences over the last couple of months, to heap some praise on the former champion Neville, as well as Baron Corbin, and I guess even Grayson Waller. We did our damnedest to make this championship important around here, and damn it, this championship is the top prize here on SmackDown. I'm sorry, Woods. I love what you're doing, but this is around my shoulder. Sami Zayn, the United States Champion. I'm not going to drop this championship to anybody. So I don't care from what orifice of the roster Pearce or Nick Aldis have to pull a challenger out from. It could be, hell, we just saw Angelo Dawkins out there. We've seen Jacob Fatu dominating. Tyler Breeze. We've seen everybody from the top to the bottom all looking to make an impact around here. I'll take any of them on. Name a time, name a place. That's when Carmelo Hayes walks into frame. He takes his sunglasses off and he goes, Sami Zayn, I hear you. You named a lot of names out there that made a lot of sense. You named Angelo Dawkins. We just saw him there. What a crash out he's just had. But you're not really paying attention around here, are you? Last week, Daniel Bryan was put on a stretcher. We may never see the kid again. Although he would call him a kid, I guess. The guy again. Guess he's washed. Do you know who it was that broke that neck of his? It wasn't Pete Dunne, it was me. It was Carmelo Hayes, him. We just saw Angelo Dawkins out there crashing out. Do you know why he crashed out? Because he's still bitter when I beat his ass 2 out of 3 falls all those months ago. I'm causing mayhem everywhere I go around here, Sammy. I'm him. I'm the main character here on SmackDown. I've been World Heavyweight Champion. Been there, done that. It's time for a new prize. It's time for a new target. And that championship right there, that's my next prize. So you're looking at your next challenger. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have to look any further than me. And he walks off and Sammy goes, well, there you go. First young kid to step up, Kayla. Let's see if he's got it. Then cut to the ring. Cammy, Julia, and Yoko come out. Cammy takes the mic and she goes, Bad Blood was the next phase of Queendom Omega put into place. All of you people that wanted Ember Moon and Kairi to come out on top over Utami and Saya, you don't know what you're talking about. That's one of the greatest women's wrestling tag teams in all of Japan. They're going to lose to 2 friends over here on SmackDown who aren't even really a tag team, who've all won tag team championships of other people. Then, of course, Utami and Saya, they're feeling the effects of that match, so, we've given them the night off. Miss Money in the Bank needs time to properly heal, because God knows our world champion's not going to be here tonight because she took a beating at Bad Blood as well. But there is one champion who is going to be here. That is, everybody please rise and bow down for your new Women's Liberty Champion, the Megasis. Out she comes, championship round her waist. Neighs all around the arena. She holds the belt up high. And he goes, this woman has competed in 5 matches here in WWE. 5. I can count the amount of matches that the Megasis has wrestled on one hand. And already, she's brought championship gold to Queendom Omega, which is more than EO could do since she lost the championship at WrestleMania. Do you know the 2 names who did bring championship gold? The Megasis and the Queen, Utami Hayashishito, and she won the Women's Tag Team Championships with a partner back at WrestleMania. But it's one thing to capture this championship, I hear you say, it's another to defend it, and do you still doubt this Megasis, the most dominant woman here on SmackDown? You shouldn't. So anybody in there who wants to take a swing at the Megasis, be prepared to get knocked down to earth. The challenger is Shotzi. She's been in NXT for a while because she was one of the people I didn't really have anything to do. But I need another random mid-card babyface on here because Raquel, I have Shayna and Carmella now, I guess. So yeah, Shotzi I need another mid-card singles woman on the babyface side. And Shotzi feels that. She'll do that. She's fine. And her stats are actually pretty good from the time she's been in NXT now. So she's going to step up. Her reintroduction to SmackDown is going to be a Liberty Championship match with the Megasis. Also, the first ever Women's Liberty Champion, Shotzi Blackheart. So, yeah. And the aforementioned Tag Team Championship partner of Ember Moon, who came and mentioned in that promo. So, huzzah. It's threefold. But, of course, she doesn't win it. The Megasis does put her down with the Mega Slam. Again, I don't know what her finisher name would be in 12:37 to make defense number 1 of the Women's Liberty Championship. 55 for the Megasis, 68 for Shotzi. So yeah, nice little match here, actually. Considering 68 and 55, yeah, that's pretty good. After the match, the Megasis stands tall with her championship. From behind, she's smacked with a kendo stick by Candice LeRae. You know, Candice smacks the Megasis. She doesn't even fall to the floor. She takes it. She sort of like staggers forward. So she does feel it, but she doesn't actually go down. Then Candice goes to swing back again. Julia and Yoko assault her. Julia hits a big, V trigger on Candice LeRae. And then they both pick her up. The Megasis grabs her by the throat, choke slams her down, and holds the championship up high. So yeah, Candice tried to get the jump on the big woman here tonight, but she was incredibly outnumbered. Then come back to the locker room. Lord Bando was with Bronco Nemo and Lucian Price. He said, boys, you came out close tonight. I'm seeing progress here. One day, Bronco Nemo and Lucian Price will be standing here, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. If you win some, you'll lose some. It's important not to get down and get into the mud like that. Swerve, he took a couple of losses before he became the World Heavyweight Champion. We'll be fine. And he's not here tonight, so all my focus and attention is on you two. And then Bronson Reed walks into the locker room. He goes, I heard you say Swerve isn't here tonight. He goes, he's not. He goes, well, when you see him, tell him that if he never needs more backup against the Hurt Business, I've got his back. And Banner goes, that's great, but did you think about what I said last week? Bronson Reed goes, I thought about it. And Banner's like, and? He sort of just nods his head and he goes, I thought about it. And he walks off, not giving a definitive answer one way or the other. We then see Charlotte in the locker room with Ariana Grace and Ava Raine. And she's got her head in her hands. And Ariana goes, Ariana sort of like whispers in Charlotte's ear, but it's comically loud so everybody can hear it. It's like that sort of whisper. She's like, all I'm saying is that I think you'd be sat here right now, the Women's World Champion, my queen, if Ava didn't go into business for herself and ban us from being at ringside during your match. And Ava Rain sort of just glares across at her, and she's like, and Ava Rain, just smiles at her, like waves at her, as if she's of the belief that she didn't hear her. And Charlotte like lifts her head up. She goes, "No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, queens, they were always steps ahead of kings. Bad blood was just check. You know, Dakota found her way out of check. It happens. But I don't see Dakota here tonight because of that little attack on her badass knee. And now, in her own home country, I'm gonna make her tap out in front of her friends and her family on the biggest night of her career. That's checkmate." Then Thea Hale walks in. And she goes, "Excuse me, Charlotte." And Charlotte says, "Can I help you?" She goes, "Yeah, actually. I just wanted to say that," and she smacks Charlotte across the face, like, really hard. She goes, "Bitch! Now what about it? You gonna fight me? Huh? You gonna fight me?" Charlotte goes, "Who let their child into my locker room? But I see what you're doing here. Little Thea, she's trying to grow a backbone, trying to become a real women's wrestler here on SmackDown. I'll tell you what, I'll humor you. I'm free tonight. I'll see you out there, rookie." So yeah, Thea Hale, that's where she was all this time. She was out on her own, doing her own thing, trying to cause mayhem. And she's picked a fight with Charlotte, of all people. So, yeah. 83. I'll take that. Jacob Fatu does defeat Tyler Breeze with a Samoan drop in 11:27. 92 for Jacob Fatu, 81 for Tyler Breeze. And yeah, pretty good match. It was a short. It was never. They were never going to be a permanent alliance. It was just a short, like, couple of weeks build to a TV feud. You know, I like to do them from time to time just so I make sure I've got everybody in the rotation. But yeah, Tyler Breeze, you know, after he loses, like, Jacob Fatu leaves the ring and Tyler Breeze sort of like is sat in the corner, but he is still smiling and nodding his head because, you know, he saw the brutality of the werewolf firsthand here tonight. And, you know, even though it was at the expense of him and he lost, he's still pretty content with what he saw. But yeah, 92 for Jacob Fatu, 81 for Tyler Breeze. Breeze, at the minute, you know, he's having a couple of, like, few week TV feuds, but I haven't really been able to find anything long-term for him. I don't want to, you know, just get rid of him because he's a good character here. I like him, so I'll find something for him to do. It's just, he may go away for a while. I'm not sure. But yeah, he will be back. And because he is still scoring well as well, 81. It's just, creative currently has nothing for him, really. And this felt like a decent way to, you know, sort of give him a nice break. Instead of, you know, just having him around to eat pins. And then see Candice. She's selling her assault. You know, the doctors are helping Candice through the hallway when Ember Moon and Kairi Sane approach her. Because here we saw what happened out there. Yeah, tough luck. You know, it happens to us. You know, back at Bad Blood, we saw what happened with those Queen of Omega girls as well. So, you know, we know exactly how you feel. And then Candice sort of, like, slams something down. She's like, "Do you? You say you know how we feel? You know how we feel. Okay, Ember, you were off in the other place, wrestling on some crappy streaming service nobody actually watches. Back when we started this issues with this group. You don't know how we feel. You've waltzed on in here with Kairi because you've got your own little issues going on. You said, oh, this'll be your problem soon. Well, yeah, it's always been my fucking problem, okay? And I'm going to solve the problem. And if you're going to keep mouthing off to me, maybe you'll be part of the problem." And then Bruno's like, "Well, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Like, I came here to, you know, have your back, but if you're going to be a bitch, then maybe we'll have to fight." Candice goes, "Yeah, you know, you can bring your little friend Kairi too, and next week, me and my friend, we're going to beat your asses." And she walks off. And Ember Moon's like, "What the hell was her problem?" And Kairi's like, "I don't know." But yeah, I guess Ember Moon and Kairi Sane against Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae next week. Huh. Then get a quick promo from Shayna and Carmella. And Shayna just, you know, Shayna's there playing with a deck of cards in the background. Carmella goes, fatal influence. They think they're hot stuff. Okay, they may be the flavor of the month. But you know who else they said once used to be the flavor of the month? Me, Carmella. And here I am 8 years later, still here and still kicking. And Shayna does stand up and she goes, you may have got the little win back at Bad Blood, but you can keep that. You know, keep the win over 2 former world champions in your little back pocket, because it may well be the highest career high you ever achieve. As for us, we've been a tag team since coming back here to WWE last year, and we've been frustrated. You know why? Because we see tag team champions parade around like trophies for big-time movie stars, and as used as props for ongoing rivalries and friendships. Enough. It's time for real tag teams to step up and take these championships back to where they need to be. It's time for me and Carmella to steer this ship right. So Becky, Lyra, if you're even really the champion, if you want to be fighting champions, come meet us face to face next week, and we'll lay down the terms like true champions do. So yeah, call out, not for a match, I should specify, not for a match, but for a meeting with Becky and Lyra and the Misfits on SmackDown next week. 79. Yeah, we'll take that a lot. Charlotte Flair and Thea Hale goes 12 minutes and 35. Thea actually does hold her own, you know, because this is her big singles match. But ultimately she does come up short. Charlotte traps her in the figure 8. And Thea does tap out. 86 for Charlotte, 54 for Thea Hale. You know, Thea taps out to the figure 8, the bell rings, but Charlotte keeps the figure 8 locked in. Thea's still tapping and screaming as Charlotte keeps the figure 8 locked in. And you know, she's sending a message to Dakota, obviously, you know, leaving the figure 8 locked in. Go, this will be you in front of your friends and your family. And then Hams and Haley of the Learning Tree / Chase U come running out. They try and help Thea. Ariana Grace and Ava Rain, you know, fight them off. And then Charlotte eventually does let go. Once Nick Aldis comes out and like pulls her off, she does eventually let go of Thea, and Thea, you know, holding her knee in pain, and Charlotte sort of like dusts her feet off the mat and leaves the ring, you know, mouthing off to the camera of the ramp, going, yes, you know, bow down, you know, that'll be your little world champion in our own country in 3 weeks' time. Okay, get used to it. The inevitable women's world champion is me. Then cut back to the Dragon's Dojo room. Miles Bourne sat there in the background, you know, in thought. And Pete Dunne's pacing around. He goes, Regal, you and I, you know, I have a lot to thank you for. But right now, you're piping up in my business and pissing me off, quite frankly. You think your little boys, your little Creed brothers, are going to be the tag team champions? Well, not on our watch. Because, like I said, I did what I did to Brian for the greater good. But what me and Dante are going to do to your boys next week, that will be personal. And that will be the real Bruiserweight coming out. So yeah, Dante Riott and Pete Dunne in tag team action against the Creed brothers next week. Should be fun. We then see Thea Hale, you know, again, she's also being backed by doctors when the Chase U people walk up the figure. Thea, you know, where the hell have you been? You know, what happened out there? She goes, you know what? You're all... I thought better of all of you. All this time, and we bled red and black. We were supposed to never give up. We were supposed to be the heart and the soul of SmackDown. We were supposed to take opportunities for ourselves when they weren't given to us. But you're sitting back here, doing nothing, while you let the Learning Tree take over our old home, our own university. We're never going to get that place back, if this is what you're going to do. So, I'm out doing my own thing. And then Andre's like, well, you know, Hams and Haley and you are in a 6-woman tag team match against the Royal Dynasty next week. And Thea goes, no, we're not. As far as I'm concerned, there is no us. If you're not going to fight for the university you claim to love. I'm not going to sit back here and be a part of it. I quit. And she storms off. And then Keith Lee tries to go, Thea, wait! And then Duke goes, you need to let her vent, Keith. You know. She's a young woman. She's finding herself here in this industry. Who knows? Maybe it's for the best. Pretty Deadly and Brooks Jensen are in the ring. And out comes Johnny Gargano. He's got a microphone. He goes, Mister's Money in the Bank, Pretty Deadly. You know, that briefcase there means that you will go down in his tag team history here in WWE because you are the first ever and potentially only ever tag team Money in the Bank winners. That's big. I can't take that away from you. But you and Brooks, you're all quite idiots. And I would love to go in there and kick each and every single one of your teeth down all your throats. But I'm not an idiot. I see 3 of you and I see 1 of me and I'm outnumbered. So, Detroit, why do you say we have a little 6-man tag team match right here? Because I did mean everything I said, Elton and Kit. You will go down in tag team history. But there are far more teams that are a long way above you in tag team history. Some of them here in WWE today, like the New Day and the Usos. Many of WWE years past, like the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys. And some who never even got to make it to WWE. Some who were born and raised in the Motor City. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time coming, but tonight, Pretty Deadly, Brooks Jensen, you will face the wrath of Johnny Gargano and my partners, my friends, my idols, my mentors. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. Out they come, Motor City. You know, we've got a relationship with TNA, so we can use that theme song. So just do it, because it's better. But yeah, out they come. Funny story about MCMG here is their contracts came up at the start of September. They were signed to AEW contracts in this game. And this was when they debuted in real life. And I was like, well, I can't get them because they're currently in AEW. There are plenty of other names, like Dragon Lee. You'll see Dragon Lee isn't in this save. That's because he's currently signed to an AEW contract in this game, so I can't get him yet. But yeah, I was like, oh, they're not... I can't get them like they can in real life. And then their contracts came up around about the time they came in IRL. And I was like, oh, that's very convenient. As too did... have you been spoiled about him yet? Hikuleo? I think you have. But yes, his contract also came out at the exact same time, so that's when I saw. I was like, oh yeah, something funny was that they all came up at the start of September, you know, right when they were all coming in real life, so I could get them all right on time, and that was just a funny coincidence I wanted to bring up. But yes, of course, we're in Detroit. Out come the Motor City Machine Guns, and 76. I'll take that. This is technically the main event of the show, so I don't expect the show to be too great, but yes, they do pick up the win. Alex Shelley pinning Brooks Jensen with the Made in Detroit. 46 for Sabin, 51 for Shelley, 88 for Gargano, 71 for Kate, 70 for Elton, 67 for Brooks. And yeah, you know, Johnny Gargano beefing with these 3. I understood it was a... Also, what I've just noticed now is that these could be the Trios champions, because they're all cruiserweights. Anyway, yeah, Gargano and the Motor City Machine. I don't know if they're going to be a permanent unit, but you know, at least there'll be an alliance that Gargano or the Guns can call upon if need be. We've established that link already. Next week is actually a pretty decently stacked show. We've got 3 matches that could be the main event. One of them's not announced yet, but we have got another match that'll be made official later on tonight that could be the main event. But what I think will actually be the main event of SmackDown next week. Shah KO, Randy Orton and Ilya Dragunov defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against Nebo Barnes and Rufus Hamilton of the Revolution. You know, they said that this match would be happening once again, and they didn't lie. Next week, Tag Team Championships on the line. Another tag team match. It will be Candice LeRae and the Women's World Champion Dakota Kai, I guess, provided that she's ready next week. taking on Ember Moon and Kairi Sane. No, Candice sort of snapped at Ember and Kairi backstage, so, there's differences to be settled here. I'm not sure how Dakota will really feel about all them, but yeah, she will be back next week for that. And we announced it will be Hams, Katana, Haley, Paul, and Thea Hale against the Royal Dynasty in a 6-woman tag team match. So both champion and challenger will be in action next week. But the status of Thea Hale may be up in the air because she just quit Chase U / Learning Tree, whatever. So who knows if she'll be a part of that. And from the, I guess, still named Dragon's Dojo, it's Pete Dunne and Dante Rios taking on William Regal's Creed brothers in tag team action. That should be a hoot right there. Out comes Xavier Woods, with Big E and Kofi Kingston by his side. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Detroit, let's hear it for your still WWE World Heavyweight Champion." Now, when I won King of the Ring, that was a childhood dream of mine that had come true. Finally, I could stand here and call myself king. Everybody else, I've already said it all. I wanted to be WWE Champion, main event WrestleMania. I wanted to be King of the Ring. When I became World Heavyweight Champion, that was another massive goal checked off my checklist. But then a ghost of my past re-emerged as soon as I won that championship, that being Drew McIntyre. The history between me and Drew McIntyre, it goes back a year. Back when he was the world champion, but I could never, ever defeat Drew McIntyre. That was until last night when I, your boy Xavier Woods, defeated Drew McIntyre in Paris to remain the World Heavyweight Champion. Now I'm sure everybody is concerned, what's next? Who's next for Xavier Woods? That's when Drew McIntyre cuts him off. He goes, "Woods, I never thought I'd say this, but congratulations. You got one over on me. Do you know why that was, Woods? It's because we were in Paris. French people don't really have the best of love for a guy like Drew McIntyre. But you got one win over me. Congratulations. I still have about 6 over you. So, as far as I'm concerned, this thing between us, it's not going to end that easily. Because, Woods, you may have won at Bad Blood, but next time we meet, I'll kick your head off again, the way I have every other time we've met." And then we just hear, "Oh man, shut your dumb ass up." Out walks MVP with Lashley and Ricochet and Damon Kemp and Ronnie Hughes. It's Drew. I don't want to come out here and run you down, because with all due respect, you're the sort of guy that the almighty Bobby Lashley would love to stay away from, because you can be quite a dangerous man in that ring. But you must have lost your dumb-ass mind if you think you're going to get another shot at that World Heavyweight Championship. Drew, you lost. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, you go to the back of the line, and somebody else gets the next shot at that championship. Maybe somebody who won their match at Bad Blood. Maybe somebody who dismantled a former World Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Scott, so badly that he ain't even here tonight. Maybe somebody like the almighty Bobby Lashley. Drew goes, "Wow, first of all, you didn't destroy Swerve bad enough, because I still remember him, sticking your big guy on his ass at the end of Bad Blood last week. So, clearly, he's still well enough to kick your ass, even half-injured. And if that's what a Swerve half-injured can do, imagine what a fully healthy Drew McIntyre can do." And if he goes, "Bitch, I saw what a fully healthy Drew McIntyre could do back in your own home country when you choked against Swerve." The almighty Bobby Lashley, he didn't choke against Swerve, he beat his ass. So by every conceivable metric, Drew, you're just out here whining for the sake of whining, and the almighty has next. And Xavier was like, boys, don't all fight over me, please, But I think I have an answer here that can solve everything. Next week, we find out who will challenge your boy Xavier Woods, the World Heavyweight Champion, clock it, for the World Heavyweight Championship next. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley can go one-on-one. And whoever can win that match gets next shot at me. And then Drew McIntyre just laughs. He puts his hand on MVP's shoulder and he goes, "P, next week, me and your man Bob here, we're going to kick each other's heads off. It's going to be a fight. But as far as I'm concerned, that's next week. And right now, I see 5 of us. I see 3 of them. And I don't see Swerve's bitch ass back there tonight. How about we temporarily call a truce and put these guys in the dirt where they belong? And he goes, now you're speaking the almighty Bobby Lashley's language. And Lashley does spear Xavier Woods. Kofi and Big E charge in, but Ricochet and Drew lay them out. You can obviously see who fights who. Drew drops Big E. Ricochet fights Kofi. Dem and Kim have Ronnie Hughes. Then also they get involved with Woods as well. So then they hold Xavier Woods up. Lashley spears him. Drew claymores Big E out of the ring. Ricochet hits the recoil on Kofi Kingston. And then Drew claymore kicks Bobby Lashley. And he screams down there, he goes, truce over. See you next week, Big Bob. So yeah, next week, Lashley and Drew, 1-on-1 winner gets Xavier Woods next. 75, again, yeah, I wasn't expecting the show to be that great because I did want a main event with the 6-man tag though, so it's fine. I'll take the hit. I didn't lose any popularity, so it's fine. And of course, what matters more than the 75 is what you thought of the show. So don't me thought in the comments below, and I'll see you on the other side for Velocity, where I think we'll be starting a new speed tournament. Yes. Velocity kicks off with the first of 2 matches in the new WWE Speed Tournament bracket. The first being Roderick Strong taking on AAA's Neon. Yeah. I guess that was how you pronounce that. Neon. And Roderick Strong beats him in apparently 5:21, but no. Yeah. It's 4:21, I guess, with a stupid double knee gutbuster. And he advances to the next round, where he'll face the winner of our next match. And yeah, Roddy gets 71, 69 for Neon, and he will face Kushida, who defeats Leon Slater in 4:57 with a Midnight Express. So yeah, Roderick Strong and Kushida will face off in the Speed Tournament in 2 weeks' time. We've got the first round next week. I'm trying to remember some of the names who were in it off the top of my head. I think Angel Garza's in it. David Martin's in it. I can't remember the other 2 off the top of my head. But yeah, those are some of the names you can look forward to next week. And yeah, we've got a 6-man tag match coming up next. 69 rated match. The War Dogs, Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, and Dan Maloney defeat the sort of ragtag thrown together trio of Zachary Ben-Shahar, Chacon Sugars, and Andrew Everett. Ben-Shahar, I think Gregor Ferguson's still around, but Sid Cottrell left of the Lady Killers fame during the purge of NXT contracts that happened like 2 months ago. So there's 2 of them left, but I thought I'd rather than just add a third one in. He'll probably be going solo. Chacon Sugars used to be in the Nice business. It's the same situation with him. The Daivaris left in the purge of NXT contract. Of course, Annie Nice is still here, so maybe him and Annie Nice can get back together at some point and find a third. And then Andrew Everett is, our comedy guy. He's the 7'4" giant. And he takes the pin here. And then after the match, Zachary Ben-Shahar does attack Andrew Everett. He chops the big man down and locks in the Champagne Super Knee Bar and, takes his legs out. That's the only way you could deal with a giant man like that. Coming up next is our main event. A rather quick episode of Velocity this week, but we do have a banger main event. It's Pistolero against the Cruiserweight Champion Axiom. It gets an 86. Apparently there's a lack of psychology, but yeah, a blue-rated main event for Velocity. Just 24 hours before he's got a ladder match against Cedric Alexander for the belt. Axiom does defeat Pistolero in 1921. 74 for Axiom, 92 for Pistolero. So yeah, nice little warm-up match for him. But, could that take its toll on his physical well-being heading into the match with Cedric at High Voltage tomorrow night? 78 rated show. I think that was actually better than SmackDown. But again, yeah, rather basic Velocity because we're in the middle ground of starting a new speed tournament. We just had a trio championship match last week, and we've got a cruiserweight title match next week or tomorrow night. So this was sort of like just a filler, nothing too special episode of Velocity, apart from, the main event, which was good, and Twitter be like, seek that out. But yeah, I'll see you next time for the High Voltage pay-per-view for ECW, and all of its shenanigans that will follow. See you then.